On Willard and Dibs on 95.7, the game is none other than NFL Network's own, the great Adam Rank, who now joins us live. Hello, good sir.
What's up, brother? How are you?
We're good now. Now we're good. It's all good now. I've had 2 fantasy drafts under the belt. We're ready to go. I won them both, by the way.
Absolutely. You walked out of there strong.
Yeah. Well, by the way, we're sitting here, debating Trey Lance because that's what we do every single day in this town. What kind of fantasy player do you think he's going to be this year?
You know, he is one of these guys that I feel like can be an absolute breakout because, number one, the Kyle Shanahan running scheme is always going to lend itself to the running game. And, of course, Trey Lance brings that extra element. And I really do think, this 49ers offense is going to be good. Now, I understand that when I'm sitting here talking to the Bay Area, you and your sick Giants ringer tea that you got working right now, I understand that I am preaching to the choir, and I need to face the congregation with everybody who is out there who doesn't understand, like, hey, do we not remember that the 49ers were like 12 minutes away from being in the Super Bowl? Like, pretty good team. Like, Trey Lance is coming in to a pretty good team. And I think that if you look at what happened last season with Jalen Hurts and the way that they tailored the offense to him, at first they're like, yeah, let's throw the ball a little bit. And they're like, okay, that's not a great idea. Let's run the ball. I think that Kyle Shanahan knows what he's doing, and he's going to go out there. They're going to pound the rock. They're going to find ways to get it done. And in those leagues where you get a lot of extra points for running quarterbacks, Trey Lance is going to be amazing.
Is it a cautionary tale, though, the way Kyle Shanahan uses running backs with the committee, Elijah Mitchell leading with 963 yards last year? Would you stay away from Niner running backs knowing that it's going to be a little bit of a rotation back there?
Well, I think the cost is caked in. Like, you already know what you're getting. Like, when you go to Del Taco, I'm not expecting a gourmet meal. Like, I understand I'm spending $5. I'm going to get some decent food. And that's it. And it's fine. And it's very nice.
2 green burritos for me, by the way, every time. The green burritos and a side of fries.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, underrated fries. I know that George Kittle and I went back and forth on this. But when you get a nice batch of Del Taco crinkle fries,
cuts,
I'll take them over In and Out. Put that on a graphic. Tweet it out.
Wait a minute. Can you expand on this for the audience, please, and let everybody know what happened between you and George Kittle and fries?
Do you know the story?
I know the story, but tell the story.
Yeah, I don't know the story.
Oh, great. So what happened it was like, choose one style of fries to lose forever. One of those things that you see on the internet. And you got 4 choices. And for me, if I remember this correctly, is that it was curly fries. I'm like, curly fries are garbage. The best curly fry, and they covered this in How I Met Your Mother, like, the accidental curly is good, but whenever you order curly fries, it's garbage. So I said that was my answer. And George Kittle, just unprovoked, pulls up the 3-13 screenshot and goes, Rank, you're as wrong here as you were there, which was the ultimate, like, crackback, never saw it coming, woke up on the sideline not knowing what stadium I'm in. Type of move right
You got pancaked. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Well, you're right. By the way, Rank, you're right. You're totally the seasoned curly fry. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Too much curly, not enough fry, which is why the Del Taco crinkle cut for me. And to be able to get a burrito and fries in the same drive-through experience, to me, is tough to beat.
So that's why we're stacking Elijah Mitchell with Trey Lance.
Okay.
In a roll.
No, I like it.
That's the way he played that. Also, and Adam Rank, NFL.com, NFL Network with us. We were also just talking a minute ago about Dan Campbell and how, you get on HBO and you get on Hard Knocks and all of a sudden everyone's like, wow, they're going to be great this year. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? This is a TV show, but are you buying Lions in fantasy? Because I kind of do feel like that might be a little bit of an underrated thing.
Amon-Ra St. Brown will probably get a lot of targets, so I really like him. I know that people are like, he's their Cooper Kupp. You're like, Sean McVay is not their head coach. They don't even have a Rams disciple on that staff, not to my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong. But in any event, no. Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm in. DeAndre Swift, I'm in. Like, this team is not going to be very good, and they're going to be in a lot of games where they have to throw to try to keep up with other teams. So I think that there's a lot of opportunity fantasy-wise. But I think Hard Knocks is a perfect vehicle for the Lions. Like, we have needs for franchises like this who are never going to be good, but at least you're entertaining. And at least you make people believe. It's like when you're watching WWE and they put out this video package of Chad Gable, and you're like, you watch it and the production's so good, you're like, oh my God, Chad Gable's going to beat Roman Reigns, and then it's a squash match. Reigns wins in half a minute, and you're like, oh, but I was invested. I thought, I bought in, and that's what we're doing with the Lions right now.
Which quarterback is of the same ilk where you're either going to overdraft him or overinvest in him? And on the other side, who's the sleeper QB? I got a draft coming up this Sunday.
I know.
And so, who's my sleeper QB that I can get in the 8th or 9th round with quality value?
Man, you know what? There's really, I think, you know what? This is going to be controversial, and this is only for the price.
This is why we have you on for your controversial takes, Adam.
Rankoversial.
But if James Cook is the player that I think he's going to be, I think that hurts Josh Allen's value a little bit, in that Josh Allen can't be the team's leading rusher again. Like, it's fun and it's great for fantasy enthusiasts, but I can't do that. Like, I can't pay up for it. I had the number 101 pick in a super flex, which means you're drafting 2 quarterbacks, and quarterbacks go in the first round in that instance. And I'm like, I'm taking Herbert. Like, I'm not even messing around with that. Like, Josh Allen will be good. He'll be a solid player, but he's not going to give you the dividends on the price. While you can wait on guys. Trey Lance is a great example of this. Jalen Hurts, great example of this. People kind of anticipate him being one of the top quarterbacks. You're not really getting a value. But some of the guys who I really like, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Kirk Cousins was solid last year as a fantasy option. Not a lot of interceptions, 30-plus touchdowns. Now you're bringing in Kevin O'Connell and that offense. And by the way, Justin Jefferson, tell me you guys will enjoy this. Because Justin Jefferson was like, oh, now I see why Cooper Kupp was so open. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, wait, did he just shade Cooper Kupp? Because the inference there is like, we don't think that Cooper Kupp's good. Why is this guy always open? Oh, it's the offense. I don't know. You guys can run with that. I don't know if he was trying to be dismissive of Cooper Kupp, but I'm just saying he went out there and said it. So I actually like this Vikings offense and Kirk Cousins, of all people.
Adam Rank,
Thank
NFL
you.
Network. Kyle Shanahan, once upon a time, liked him too. All right, before every year starts, I give you this opportunity. Last year it didn't go nearly as well, but I always tell the story. You were the one, Adam. You were the one who unearthed James Robinson. You won leagues for me 2 years ago. You're like, take this guy. Nobody knows a thing about him. Nobody had even heard or thought of him. I'm grabbing James Robinson in the 16th round of all my drafts, and I'm laughing at people by the time we got to week 4. This year's James Robinson is...
Well, if we were doing this a month ago, Dameon Pierce was a guy that we love, but like his ADP is soaring into the single-digit rounds. It's not a really equitable thing. I think that, even Romeo Dobbs, who played at nearby, I don't know, is Reno near you guys? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But anyway,
near enough.
Another one. He's been going crazy, and everybody loves him. So when you're looking at the deep picks, and Brian Robinson Jr. is another guy that's just like, oh, everybody's coming out of the woodwork, and everybody's looking for him. But why don't we take a look? And I really like Nico Collins this year. And I think that Nico Collins can be a player in that Texans offense. And again, we're looking at a team that's probably going to be in a scoring deficit a lot. They're going to have to throw the football. We love Brandon Cooks, but I love Nico Collins. And I think that one of the philosophies that you want to have is looking at rookie running backs and second-year wide receivers. And Nico's the second-year wide receiver that everybody seems to overlook. And I think, too, this is a crazy one. And it's another wide receiver who might end up getting a huge opportunity because of the injuries with his team. But Jalen Tolbert might end up being a guy, too, that you focus in on at some point. And you're like, all right, I think this guy can carry us. And so those are two guys that I'm definitely targeting, especially towards the end of the draft.
Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver for the Cowboys. Okay,
Nico
love
Collins, there you go.
Yep, okay. Adam Rankin, by the way, big-time Angels fan. Before you go, just wanted to let you weigh in on not only the fact that the Angels will now be for sale. What I wanted to know is, will you join us with San Francisco Giants fandom when Shohei Ohtani gets here?
100%.
Okay, that's it.
That.
That's all.
That's we've already. I know it's a terrible conversation that we have, but we were my friends and I, because I think San Diego's out of the mix after all the moves that they made, and we're like, what is the least offensive? We're like, not Seattle, definitely not the Dodgers. I'm like, Shohei, San Francisco, that's fine.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Adam, thank you, sir. Appreciate you as always.
Oh, my pleasure. Play my song on the way out, and let's do this again real soon.